We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 399. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week, the current reigning, not just right defending just now, the OG Undisputed Scholar himself, and current Scholars of Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, was that intro to your liking this week? Jeff's kiss. Okay, I'll take it.
That is a very good job. I really enjoyed that intro. And I'm not defending yet, but there's no one who's earned that right for me to defend. So, because I'm just smacking Jeremy all around, getting the perfect score at Extreme Rules. Even did my best to prevent a cash in from you, Scholar Charlie.
I sucked at Extreme Rules.
Hey, but Extreme Rules didn't suck, and we're going to get to all that. But first, let's keep on going with the introductions. Exactly. Continuing on with the one and only Scholar Brian. Scholar Brian, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Not bad. Excited about what happened at least at the end of Extreme Rules. I'm not going to say that Extreme Rules is good.
I will.
It was great. I'm not going to say that it was great, but some stuff happened in Extreme Rules that I'm very excited about.
And I think we all know what we're talking about. They already read the title of this episode. But before we break all that down, last but not least, joining us this week, the one and only Scholar Charlie. Scholar Charlie, how's your evening going, sir?
My evening's can't tell. I've been away for a while.
That's fun already, huh?
My evening is going great. Thank you for asking. Brian may not say Extreme Rules was great, but I sure will. We'll hear more on that when we go over it later.
Absolutely. So, you know what? Let's just get right into it. There's a lot that happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. So let's just dive right into it.
Before we do,
got some.
I've hinted something to you three gentlemen before we started recording tonight, and I'm going to cash in on that now. I'm now looking for a new challenger for Goldie over here. So I'm thinking number one contenders between the three of you at what is it, Full Gear that's next?
Crown Jewel's next.
Crown Jewel's next.
Okay, you guys do predictions for Crown Jewel to earn the shot at my title at Full Gear.
I'm game for that. Let's mix it up.
Challenge for me.
Although, Charlie, I have a proposition for you.
Oh no.
How would you like to be at the final title defense of the year?
I'm for it.
Are you willing to cash in on that?
No.
Oh, really? Really? You don't want to end 2022 with possibly winning the gold belt?
When I cash in, it's going to be...
Oh, okay. No. That's okay, Tarek. He's going full bitch mode. That's okay.
Oh!
Kids. There's a difference between cowardice and tact. Let's remember this, please.
Or leaving
your
mark,
exactly.
Charlie.
We're going full left. We're going
this
full
has been
left
your year.
On this one.
Charlie, this has been your year
Tarek's
so far.
calling Charlie out, and Charlie's saying no. That's
hey, Charlie,
all I'm saying.
You've been having such a dominant year so far. I've noticed. Why don't you say ending your really great year with a bang by winning the gold?
When I cash in, I want to cash in for the championship. I don't want to cash in for a shot at the championship.
You know exactly who he wants to cash in on. So you hold that for as long as you possibly can.
That would be bittersweet.
In that case, we still got Crown Jewel. We still got Crown Jewel. Earn your way for the title.
I can.
Just like Brian and Jeff. Triple threat. Crown Jewel. Number one contender for the Scholars of Wrestling Championship. Undisputed Scholar Brian versus Scholar Jeff versus Mr. Scholar in the Bank himself, Scholar Charlie, and a man who was afraid to cash in on that to make his mark on his year.
Hey, the year is still full of possibilities. lots of things can happen, and lots of things have already happened. Speaking of this week in professional wrestling,
who am I facing at Full Gear?
Who knows? We'll find out at. I'm blanking.
At Full Gear.
We'll find out at Crown Jewel.
He's blanking
we'll find out
because
at Crown
nobody
Jewel.
cares.
That's very fair. Yes, very true.
Yes, we'll find out all that and more.
I'm looking towards the future even further.
Well, before we get to the future, let's focus on the developments of the present that are this week in wrestling. Kicking things off with, we had Extreme Rules this past Saturday, and something happened. There were some good matches. Somebody returned.
Since I was the one who came in and said that they weren't 100% pleased with this show, I'll go first, because the other two have said specifically that they've got differing opinions. But here's the deal. All right. This was not the best show. It wasn't. It was fine. It was good. It did what it needed to do. There were some matches, however. Okay, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. If you try to tell me that was good,
honestly, I would say that's the only bad thing that came out of the pay-per-view.
Get off this Zoom right now.
That wasn't a good match.
It's just like I wasn't a complete fan of the Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre match.
To be fair, it's Karrion Kross. He can't he's a good character.
No, it's like both of them. Both of them. Sorry, both of them didn't do it for me in that match. Sorry about it.
But you feel however you want to feel.
But it was.
What about the 6-man tag to open the show?
Oh, that was badass.
Yeah.
We all agree on that one.
That's a very safe bet.
And that was a. Let's see, and Rollins versus Riddle was fine. It was okay.
It was a good main event. It was a good main event for the very first main roster.
No, I'm like it was good, but I was like it was good, but it was like as a main event. If I didn't know that something was gonna come after it, I'd be like, why was that the main event? It's fair. Like, because everybody knew that the ending of the show was gonna be Bray Wyatt. So
in all fairness, the main event should have been Edge versus Finn Balor, but that's just me.
Probably.
But do you want Bray Wyatt? Do you want Bray Wyatt's return to be to upstage that angle? Because that was an awesome angle.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was the high point of the entire show for me. The Edge versus Finn Balor wrestling was. We're not get ahead of ourselves. We all know what the actual high point of the night was.
But it's not taking anything away from the other ones.
Edge versus Finn Balor was exactly what it needed to be. It played the storyline perfectly, and the reason that Edge quit was, he was trying to save his wife. Come on.
Man.
So it's like,
I will say,
and of course, as Judgment Day, as heels do, it doesn't matter whether you quit or not. The wife is still gonna get it. So
it was awesome that she got it.
But the deal is, a lot of the matches that 3 of the 7 did not work for me the way that they were meant to work.
6.
Which is why I can't. Okay, 3 out of 6. That's even worse. But 3 out of 6. Half of the matches that were on the show didn't work for me the way that they were supposed to work. Okay. However, what did work really worked. It's like it wasn't like it was good. Okay, we can move on. But it was like everything that was good was really good. So it's like, yeah, the three matches that I don't feel very strongly for could have been better, and I can give this a full beard.
Okay, that's fair.
I can give it a full beard because what I didn't fully like, I didn't fully hate.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little shocked. The way you were going off, I was expecting at least a goatee.
No, it's like I didn't fully hate anything that I was watching. Okay, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I no.
Yeah, there were no redeeming qualities to that match. But
the other two, it's like I didn't fully like them, but I didn't fully hate them.
Yeah.
And everything that happened in the other matches was good enough that I can't take away from that. So it's like I can't fully endorse it, but I can go a low full beard.
Okay, like what Tarek said, when you were saying it was downhill, I thought you were gonna go into goatee territory, but I guess not.
What about you, fool? You've been very quiet about this. What are your thoughts on it?
Hey,
at least what we discussed.
Part of my entertainment is just seeing you guys go off when you got something to say. But I honestly have to share. I'm actually surprised about this, but I actually share Brian's opinion. What was good and what worked was highly enjoyable, especially compared to what other Extreme Rules shows that we've gotten in the past few years alone. So yeah, especially with the cherry on top that is the return of Bray Wyatt in grand fashion, I gotta give this show a full beard.
Awesome.
But yeah, back to you. What do you think?
I enjoyed. I apparently enjoyed what the show gave me more than you guys did. But I'm not letting the negatives really take over like my feeling on the whole show. I mean, hell, Bray Wyatt's return is more than enough to make it a 4. Just by that self, hell, that would have made it a 5, but the show brought it down to a 4. That's my frame of logic on it. I love the intro, the opening match of the 6-man, or trios. Ronda, Liv Morgan was an absolute disaster. It's sad. And apparently now they're fully making Ronda Rousey heel, which I even said last week she was kind of getting that stone cold badass type of response, but now apparently she's just full on heel. Bianca Belair and Bayley was also kind of disappointing to me because it was pretty much a 3-on-1 handicap match, and Bianca pretty much Charlotte flared them. They really are building up Bianca Belair for Charlotte if they're having the matches go like that. There really wasn't much to say about Drew and Karrion Kross. That was just a storytelling. It's just Kross had to win. Drew did his best. Was it great? No. At this point, I'm just not character-wise. I can see why he's in the main event, but wrestling-wise, it's like he's passable. And then for the fight pit, I just enjoyed it. I've been really into their feud, of Riddle and Seth Rollins, and just like I said, I know how this was gonna go. I knew it was gonna go because I knew what Seth Rollins was gonna get afterwards. Continuing my perfect score run at Extreme Rules predictions. But yeah, I will agree. Was it the best show? No, but it was a good show, and the positive reaction outweighed the negatives. Just because of what the people I liked doing things that I like. And Bray, yay. Return of the Fireflies. But yeah, 4 out of 5, full beard.
you skipped over Finn and Edge.
I already said what I thought on Finn and Edge. I like that now this is finalizing that Finn's push is going to be actually happening. And now we're getting OC versus Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Granted, I wish there was someone else besides Dominic in that faction, because I just am not convinced on his wrestling skills yet, especially being compared to Gallows and Anderson as your backup.
Here's a thought. What if instead of Dominic, they use Rhea? Intergender match. Could it happen in the Triple H regime?
Who would the OC lose? Who would the OC use then?
They would just use their.
He was meaning intergender.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, like instead of the third man for the Judgment Day being Dominic,
if the WWE
what if it's the real Poppy?
If the WWE actually gets ballsy enough to let that happen,
Triple H is ballsy enough, but is he like?
Is he that?
We know he's capable of doing it. It's just the question of if he's going to.
Will he actually do it?
Will he? Will he go in on his nuts?
We know he can. We know that he's willing, but will he? Will he actually do it? Will he actually pull the trigger on like live television or pay-per-view? It's like it's all well and good when it's NXT and it's not the but are you willing to go all in on the main brand and do the intergender?
Do it. I say do it.
I say do it.
I say do it.
The way you're treating Rhea Ripley right now. The way you're treating Rhea Ripley right now.
She's the real Dom.
She's the head of that faction. Come on.
No, I think Finn actually took that now that they're feuding with AJ Styles in the club.
Yeah.
But Rhea Ripley did have the focus on her for a while.
Yeah. No, it's like
that was perfect character build for her.
Finn's the figurehead, but we all know that Rhea runs the.
now that her character is established, she's now pushed back to a muscle, and a good muscle because she's really good at being a muscle.
Anywho,
okay. Besides, that one. 4 out of 5 full beer. That was my fate rating. Yeah. There we go. I went through every match. There we go.
I'll make it short and sweet. I too give Extreme Rules full beard. Tarek basically said everything that needs to be said about the event.
Very interesting. Same scores, but for different reasons. I feel like it's very rare when you see that. Yeah.
Especially with Brian's. I'm shocked with Brian with how he was. I seriously thought you were going to go classic goatee with how you were going off on it.
Because the whole thing was everything that was good was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I didn't like was not enough to bring that completely down.
Okay.
Okay, but it's like Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I could have done without completely. We don't need to talk about that. But it's like the other two that I spoke about. Okay, could have been better. Could have been a lot better.
They could have been.
But they weren't. But it's like it's not enough to. First of all, Bray Wyatt and everything else was really good.
Segue.
And yes. As we alluded to earlier, and of course we got Bray Wyatt too. We'll cover him in more detail later. You also alluded earlier to the fact that we had a return of Gallows and Anderson on this week's Monday Night Raw, and he was not the only return. We also had a return of one Brock Lesnar, whose status seemed to be up in the air for a while after the transition happened to a post Vince McMahon WWE.
And besides, it's Brock Lesnar not in a title feud. Holy shit, we finally can get it again. Show us
I'm not sure how I feel about him. I'm not sure about the feud starting by him costing someone a title. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Hey,
But
to be fair,
it's
Lashley
like
had it coming. He did
we've
the exact
wanted,
same thing to Drew.
but it's like we've wanted Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for a long time. Ever since Lashley came back and Brock was like fully in, everybody was like, we want Brock versus Bobby. Okay. Am I completely certain that I wanted Bobby to lose a title to get the match that we're getting? No,
I like
I
it.
am not. No, I'm not. But it but the fact that we're actually getting it and we can actually get like an actual like I know we've gotten it like once before, but it was like one of those like 5 minute whatever. But it's like if we get like a full like 10 to 15 minute like big man Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar match, then it's like okay, I can deal with whatever happened before that. Here's the deal. I just like I don't like starting a feud based on someone costing you a title.
I just think that's adding to the fuel on like, you want your match, you got it. You cost me this, I'm going to get my revenge on it. Let the
But it's
let's
like
not have a title involved in it.
Have Bobby retain the title and then have Bobby beat Brock Lesnar while the title's on the line. It'll mean more when Bobby beats him. Instead, Brock Lesnar beats up Bobby Lashley. Seth Rollins wins the United States title. Then Bobby Lashley can lose Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar doesn't look bad because he didn't lose a title match. That's how I'm taking this right now. That might be wrong of me, but that's how I'm taking it.
I just still like the idea that you're like, I don't think the United States title actually really earns that type of match, to be perfectly honest.
No.
I think Seth Rollins taking it and having him defend it against someone else is perfectly fine with me. Get the United States title away from this feud as possible. That's my opinion on it. This match can just work on the names alone, and I'm glad that it's working on the names alone because, like I said when we started talking about this, I don't want Brock Lesnar in another title match. I don't care what the title is. Stop having him go for gold. Have him just have matches. And it's working because we don't want this guy just to be in title matches. We wanted him just to be him. And now we have him being a complete dick to Bobby Lashley. And again, Bobby Lashley deserved the karma.
And truth be told, I have to admit, it never occurred to me that Brock Lesnar was consistently in the title picture and that's all you ever see him in. I could tell that there was a certain freshness to when he came back, but I never really took that perspective on it. Now that you mention that there can be other feuds outside of the world title feud in the 5,000th match with Roman Reigns, I am honestly intrigued by Brock Lesnar again, far more than I have been in quite some time. And that's not a bad thing.
That is a good thing.
Thank you for finishing it. But yes, that was also not the only title change we also had this week. We're looking ahead to AEW Dynamite later in the week, and at long last, Orange Cassidy gets some gold around his waist by defeating Pac for the All Atlantic Champion, the second one in history. For everyone who saw the match itself, what was your immediate reactions to the match itself and the title win?
The title win itself had to happen. Something had to happen on this show. They built it up to the point where it was like, okay, something has to happen. There has to be some kind of shift There has to be some kind of change. And when you have Pac versus Orange Cassidy, okay, they play off each other so well when they wrestle each other. It's like nothing. You can't go wrong when you have Pac facing Orange Cassidy. Either way it goes, because Orange Cassidy needed something. Okay, he's been in the company since the beginning. Okay, we've had the match where he breaks out and uses all his moves and gets aggressive and all that.
He's falling in lava.
And it was time for him to have a title. Okay.
Right,
I'm of the mindset that he's gonna be one of those guys. I don't like to say it, but he's not gonna be one of those guys who ever holds the world title. For me,
that's fair.
For me, it's not gonna happen. But I don't think it would be a good idea if it happens. But the North American title would basically be it's basically the third place title at this point, right? It would be the United States title of if we were going through the WWE type. And
yes
I'm like,
and no.
At this point, okay, the All Atlantic title is where I'd put Orange Cassidy at this point. So it's like this is the perfect time. You've had 2.5 years to build this guy up, and you put him in the main event of a TV broadcast, a big time TV broadcast, and you have him win the title there. I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. It works. And the celebration was bonkers. It was great. And Orange Cassidy has the title now, and we can move on from there. And Pac did his job.
He made his mark. His job. He's Pac. Or at least he was Pac.
Yeah, it's like he does it to the best of his ability. Okay, he makes whatever is in front of him work, and that's why
Pac is the first double champion in AEW.
And that's why everyone gives him so many props, and everybody looks at WWE like, well, why did you get rid of him? What the fuck were you thinking? He made Orange Cassidy work. He was the first. Like, we all had fun with it at the beginning, but he actually made it like serious. Pac made it seriously work, where it's like, okay, I could take this guy seriously, because he had that match. What was it, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
With Pac,
with each other,
and
yeah,
2 years ago.
They worked very well together.
He suddenly starts breaking shit out. It's like, okay, all right, here we go. Okay, and I don't think out of anyone in the biz, I don't think anybody else could have made that work. First off,
getting cursed by Danhausen,
then Pac. Yeah, that was later, but I mean, like, the first person who made that work was Pac.
I completely agree.
And it's just like, so when he wins his first title, of course, it's got to be off of Pac, because that's just how it works.
I agree with everything you just said, but the only thing I disagree with is that I think the All Atlantic is more like the European title in ranking over the US. They actually treat the United States title like with prestige. It's a secondary title. This one is a third title.
Here's the thing, though. I see what your guys are going at, and I thought the same way for a while. But then again, I'm thinking about the modern state of titles in both companies. In WWE, the supposedly mid-card titles do seem to be going up in prestige. All of the titles do.
Thank you, Triple H.
And yes, thank you, Triple H.
Thank you for caring.
And AEW, right from the start, with the exception of a couple mainstays like their world title and tag titles and women's championship, it seems like they haven't followed the quote unquote traditional recipe in terms of belt distribution and level since their inception. So even though I can see that the All Atlantic Championship, I can see how you would compare it to the European Championship and seeing it as like a third tier title. I'm hesitant to do so, not only because the title landscape of AEW is not a 1-for-1 with traditional wrestling companies where you have world title, tag title, women's title, secondary mid-card title, blah, blah, blah. It's not a 1-for-1, but even if it is, I can see the belt going to Orange Cassidy. I can see Orange Cassidy being the one to elevate that title, make it mean something because of who it's on.
Let's hope so.
Or traditionally, we can see like, okay, the belt is the thing that makes the man, that brings them up to the next level. I see this being the rare opposite case where Orange Cassidy is so good and so over that he and he alone is going to be the one to take the title up to the next level, make it mean something.
So what you're asking for, Fool, is a Orange Cassidy Open Challenge?
I can see, not necessarily. I can see the best friends putting him up to it and being excited that he made him like, and it'd be like, hey, why don't we have an open challenge like that other guy did? That people seem to like that. And I'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, as much that would not work with that character at all.
I agree.
Challenge that dude was.
the only reason really I give it a I have to ask you, generally, do you think the All Atlantic Championship is like on the same ranking as the TNT title?
No,
not currently. But then
because
again,
it's a baby title.
Exactly.
I put it
it's so third. New.
I put it as third, which is why I ranked it as the United States title, because I put.
Oh, I don't put the United States title. My feelings toward that belt, but it is a secondary.
I get it, but it's like, well, you're gonna hate me.
Oh, Brian, I can't hate you. I can't hate
because
you,
because it's like Intercontinental title. Okay, that's down there too.
Okay. Brian.
So it's like, look, okay.
Shame. No, absolutely not.
No, I put the TNT title as the Intercontinental title.
I agree.
And I put the All Atlantic title as the United States title.
Here's the thing. I put the TNT title, I have it be TNT, Intercontinental, United States. And then
no, I can't. I can't do.
The way they're presenting the two titles, the IC and the US, they're being basically shown as equals, which I can't say is for the TNT and All Atlantic Championship. I mean,
well, let me put it this way, okay? What was actually on the show for the title match for that particular? If you're going about it that way, then the All Atlantic title would mean more than the TNT title.
It hasn't had enough time. It's not been around long enough to do that.
because the TNT title wasn't even on the show.
The champion was in a big storyline with like Samoa Joe and FTR. He was in with Sean Spears. He's in a top storyline.
That's all well and good.
The Pinnacle's back together.
I have always put this might just be just me, but I've always put the United States title below, slightly below, but below the Intercontinental title. I'm not going full and going European title on the thing, but I'm like, look, all right, when it was the invasion and it was the Intercontinental title and the United States title, and you added them both together, okay, who won? The Intercontinental champion. When it was Edge versus Test, Edge versus
it's WWE's title over WCW's.
Well, that's all well and good, but it was always in our heads. Intercontinental title was always over United States title. Always.
In my personal opinion, I 100% agree. But I think on their viewing of it, they're on equal grounds, and I completely get that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that in my headspace, the United States title is third tier. To the Intercontinental title is second tier. You got the world titles as the top. Intercontinental title is second tiar.
I'll agree
United
to disagree.
States title is third tier, and that's why, and that's why I've said that the All Atlantic title is that's it.
I respect.
It's third tier. They're both third tier out of everything.
As your undisputed tag team partner, I completely respect your opinion. I just respectfully disagree. I agree to disagree.
As your undisputed tag team partner, you are completely wrong, and we can move forward.
I love you too. I love you too, Brian. I love you too.
I was gonna say we could conceivably be here for the next 3 years and just going back and forth on this debate. So what do you say we all get to something that we can all agree on, which is the return of Bray Wyatt and how awesome it is?
Yes.
As of this recording, we just saw the actual return of Bray Wyatt and his first official promo. Came in, new music, dressed in actual street clothes this time, seemingly very sincere, thanking the fans. He was being himself until that strange new masked man appeared. Said, okay, you don't know what's going on yet, but you will.
Oh, you know exactly what's going on. This is how Bray Wyatt works.
He's Jekyll and Hyde.
The promo was great. Everything that has had anything to do with his return is A+. Just like anyone who says they're confused with what's going on, sorry, Charlie.
I sense the little jab there to Charlie.
That just means that Bray Wyatt's been gone for too long, and you forgot.
I didn't forget
how this man works.
The Scholars of Wrestling have not forgotten Bray Wyatt. He's Uncle Bray.
Never.
He's Uncle Bray.
Yeah. The deal is, okay, you never get you never get the full story in one promo. You never get it. Something happens in every promo where you're like, what did he just say? What are we talking about? What are we doing here? And it's been like that since the beginning of time. since the Wyatt family first came in. Half the time you're just sitting there listening to it, like, what the hell are we actually? He's speaking great, and he's saying words, and they're resonating with me. But what are we doing here?
The perfect answer to that, Brian, Jeff knows this answer too. It's a teaser.
I guess you're gonna have to check in next week.
Legitimately, okay.
That's his genius.
The bit is okay. You're not supposed to get everything on the first bit on the first promo.
So then I'm on par for the course. Great.
Honestly, I feel like this felt like a shoot. That's the best way because he was. Like he was.
When he was actually in the ring. When he was actually in the ring and he was speaking and doing all that, I guarantee you that wasn't Bray Wyatt. That was Wyndham Rotunda.
That I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he was the intro in the ring. He was the intro. Now here's the presentation.
And you know what? For the time and place, this is that rare moment where he is allowed to have that one moment, clear the air, speak his truth. And now let's get back to the spoopy stuff.
In New Orleans, of all places.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'll take 5 minutes. I'll take 5 minutes to say what needs to be said, and then we could get back to what we're really doing here.
back to our regularly scheduled program.
Indeed, and I love it.
I didn't have time to actually watch the promo, but I basically just read the details of what he said and what was shown. But I can't wait. Once we start recording, I'm gonna watch it. So I'm pumped.
Did they say what the masked guy said in what you read?
He did. I'm not gonna look it up now, but they did say what he said
because it was very hard to translate
what he was saying. A lot of that was very garbled, but what I caught of it was basically like, you don't know what's going on, you don't know who I am,
but you
will.
That's
that was the long
and
the short of it. Yeah,
gotcha.
And I'm like, that's essentially what Bray Wyatt has been the whole entire time.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am. You don't know what I do, but you will.
I can't wait for his movie. Whenever that is, and whatever it is.
Yes, that kind of sums up the whole Bray Wyatt experience for a lot of us, where even though things may not be clear at first, your faith is always rewarded. You are rewarded for paying attention, and if you buy into what he's selling, he will give you what you're after.
And the best part is he has a plan. He has his entire storyline for I don't know how long. He has his storyline plan with what's his name, the new writer that was a part of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
He planned they have laid out the entire storyline. They know what they're doing. There's no, but like Vince McMahon just rip up the script and do it whatever he wants, and it's the same shit over and over. There's a plan. There's a plan, and I'm so excited to see what it is.
Absolutely, and at this point, we could just speculate on and on and on about what's going to happen next, because really, at this point, I don't think anybody really knows for certain what is actually going on here. Though before we do close out, I do have one Scholar's Quick Talk question for you all. For those of us who heard Bray Wyatt's new theme music tonight, am I going nuts, or is that Code Orange?
I'll let you know as soon as I hear it.
I know Code Orange actually does a lot of WWE theme music, so I would not be surprised at all if it is Code Orange.
Charlie, what do you think? Is this Code Orange or is this some other band?
I have no idea if it's Code Orange. I just, much like we were saying pre-recording, no one's gonna give a shit what my initial thoughts were, but I didn't think it went with him. But it'll probably grow on me.
Okay, I'm confirming it. Yeah, it's from Code Orange.
Okay.
Okay, then. I'm just curious, where did you hear that or find that confirmation?
On YouTube. It's the song.
Quick? Oh, you found it. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's I'll send it to you guys on our messages.
Please do, because that thing was a banger.
I can't wait to
that's
hear it.
not for everybody, but I dig it.
No, I dug the song. It just didn't sync up with Bray for whatever reason.
Again, I'll let you know as soon. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this ends up changing anybody's minds over time as things develop. But anyway, that is the week in professional wrestling, such as it is. Returns aplenty, excitement to be had all over the place. But now is the point in the show where we're turning it over to you, our fellow fans. What did you think about the return of Bray Wyatt? Where is this all going? How do you think everything's developing so far? And what do you think of all of the returns that seem to be happening all at once? Whatever you think, drop us a YouTube comment, leave a comment about anywhere on the internet. We're all over the place. Fool, where can they reach you on the internet?
On the internet, you can reach me. Looking forward to seeing which of you three become my new challenger at the Avatar.
And Brian, where can they reach you on the old interwebs?
You can reach me trying to figure out what the hell is going on with Bray Wyatt at Atomic Painful.
And Charlie, where can they reach you?
You can find me hoping to become #1 contender to Tarek's championship at Charlie.
And you can check me out at I'm Robbie Rage on Twitter. Join in the conversation with us all. And check out all of our social links and more at our link tree in the description below. That's linktree/Scholars of Wrestling. But gentlemen, that is our show for this week. And since it's $3.99, you know what next week is. It's a big milestone for us. But then again, if you've been following us along, you know that already, because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And we'll all see you for episode 400.